Today, I wanted to carry on my series on anxiety and talk a little bit about some ways that you can combat an anxiety attack when you have one. As we know, anxiety is kind of this physiological response. We have adrenaline and cortisol that runs through our body when we feel threatened. And this gives us physical symptoms of anxiety, like our heart racing, palms sweating, feeling generally just kind of anxious and hot. Sometimes people even get red in the face and feel nauseous. The symptoms of anxiety aren't the same for everyone, and they are often what cause us to have panic attacks. I talk a lot about mindfulness in my work and in my videos, and I think that's because it's one of the most important things to remember when we face anxiety. My last video talked about how anxiety isn't something that we should necessarily avoid the symptoms of, but that we can embrace them and accept them and visualize them like a wave. So something that will pass by and an emotion that will pass, not as a fixed state that we are anxious, that instead we're experiencing a symptom of anxiety or a panic episode. With anxiety, it's important to understand what thoughts and triggers have caused us to feel threatened in the first place and evaluate them. For example, are there certain places that you feel anxious more often? Are there people who give you more of an anxious response? Is it certain words or triggers that set off anxiety for you? But quite often before we can do that, we need to calm our bodies down. So I want to talk about a few ways that you can calm down your body when it's in that panic response. One way that I find is quite effective is to engage in breathing and meditation. So deep breathing that activates your calming nervous system is really helpful for diffusing a panic response. Make sure that you breathe in for a solid amount of 10 seconds and breathe out fully for that time. You have to do this for at least 20 minutes. That's how long it takes for your nervous system to fully calm down after it's activated. Another thing that can be really helpful is to either have a cold bath, a cold shower, or if you have access to some ice or something like that, to almost shock your nervous system back to kind of this present moment with a really cold sensation. It helps break up that nervous response, and it can work really well in the moment. Exercise, I mention a lot, but it's a way of activating both sides of your brain because both of your legs are moving, especially when you're walking or running. And it helps to kind of, again, calm that nervous system response by bringing you back to your present body in this moment. Exercise also gives us endorphins, so endorphins do make us happy, to quote Legally Blonde. But they do, and so it can help to calm us down and make us feel a generally better sense of well-being than if we don't exercise. Another simple kind of practical tool is tapping. So you have different pressure points on your body. They start here, here. Actually, no, they start here, 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 here. And just to revert through tapping each pressure point, and you can also finish on your wrist. So to do that again, it kind of activates your body response, gets you back into that more calming rhythm, and it can help break up a panic attack if you have to focus on tapping each of your pressure points. Another exercise I like is the body scan. So a body scan is a more guided meditation. It's better for people who find it hard to focus on a traditional meditation and they can't quite guide their brain to calm down. So a body scan helps you check in with each part of your body. I'm going to be posting a body scan next week. So you can always use my body scan that I'm posting and use that to kind of help if you're having a panic response or having a hard time getting to sleep. The body scan is a really good tool to use, and you can find lots of them on YouTube as well. And the last one might not be appropriate at all times, but I find that playing really loud music can shock kind of the nervous system out of that panic response. It almost just breaks the cycle of a panic attack. So if you have the option, like if you're driving by yourself or you're in kind of a place where you can play music, do that, try it, and see how it works. Because for me, I found, especially I used to have panic attacks quite often, that it really worked to break that panic cycle for me. So thanks guys for listening. I just wanted to give some practical tools for breaking anxiety. That was some of the feedback I received, so I hope that you liked it. Don't forget to check out my YouTube, which is now You Counseling, and I will also have my website up and running soon as well for anyone who wants to check in with it. And I will be launching my free ebook as well, a guide to mindfulness, so it's called Mindful Pathways. Thank you, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube.